Let's be real for a second. Does your focus ever feel like a leaky bucket? You sit down to do one thing and suddenly, poof, an hour's gone. You've done a million little things, but not the one thing you were supposed to? Yeah, you're not alone. We're living in a world that is literally designed to steal our attention.
It just feels like this constant battle, doesn't it? Like you're always playing catch-up, just buried under notifications, browser tabs, and this endless fire hose of information. It honestly feels like we're losing a race we never even signed up for.
And here's the real kicker: the actual cost of that race. Researchers at the University of California figured out that it takes an average of 23 minutes to get your full, deep focus back after just one little interruption. 23 minutes. Now, just think about how many times you glance at your phone in an hour. The amount of lost time is, well, it's kind of terrifying. To really get what this feels like, let's talk about someone who was stuck right in the middle of it. This is a story about a huge dream getting completely derailed by distraction.
So, meet Jake. Jake has this massive, ambitious goal: get into MIT. Simple enough, right? Wrong. The problem is he cannot concentrate to save his life. The second he sits down to study, his brain just checks out. It's scrolling Instagram, it's daydreaming, it's pausing a video for the 5th time. And the result? A report card filled with B's and C's. Not exactly MIT material. He's got disappointed parents and friends who are starting to think his big dream is just a joke.
So, after bombing yet another test, Jake just hits a wall. He's sick of it, sick of being mediocre. But instead of just giving up, he does something different. He asks for help. And that leads him to his math teacher, Mr. Tanaka, a guy who always seemed incredibly calm, totally centered, and just completely present.
Jake spills his guts, explaining the whole problem, and Mr. Tanaka just listens really patiently. Then he quietly takes a piece of paper and writes down this one kind of mysterious phrase.
So what on earth is Ichigo Zamay? Well, it's a concept from Zen Buddhism, and it literally means concentration on a single action. It's the art of doing one thing and only one thing with your entire being. It's like you and the action you're doing, you become the same thing. And this is the part that just clicks for Jake. Mr. Tanaka tells him it's not just about focusing on the math, it's about becoming it. When you're studying, you're not Jake studying math, you are math. He said it's like when you're so lost in a video game that the whole world just melts away. You know that feeling, that flow state? Ichigo Zamay is about learning how to get into that state on purpose, with any task you want.
Jake left that meeting with way more than just a cool new word. Mr. Tanaka had given him a bunch of articles that actually combined this ancient Zen idea with modern-day behavioral science. He went home ready to completely rebuild how his mind worked. And this is so important. This wasn't just some vague philosophy, it was a practical toolkit. First up, choice architecture. Fancy name, simple idea. Just change your environment so distractions aren't even an option. Think phone in another room. Second, the famous Pomodoro technique. Work in these intense 25-minute sprints. And third, maybe the most important one, the gentle return. Because your mind is going to wander. Instead of getting mad at yourself, you just gently notice it and bring your attention back. No drama.
So based on that, Jake created this simple, non-negotiable ritual every single time he studied. Step 1, phone goes in a drawer in the other room. Step 2, all notifications, all extra tabs, gone. Step 3, set a timer for 25 minutes. Step 4, take 3 deep breaths and start. That's it. See, he wasn't relying on willpower, which always fails. He was relying on a system.
And doing this day in and day out, it literally builds a different kind of brain. On the left, you've got the distracted brain. It's constantly leaking energy, doing shallow work, always hitting the reset button. But on the right, you get the focused brain. It's capable of deep work, it can get into that flow state, and get this, it's actually strengthening its own neural pathways. It's the difference between that leaky bucket and a high-pressure fire hose. So, the result? After a few weeks of this new ritual, the first big math test came back. Jake looked down at the paper and just froze. There it was, a big red A, for the first time. And this wasn't just a grade, it was proof. It was the moment he knew this wasn't just some study hack. It was a total transformation.
Okay, so Jake's story is awesome, right? But it's totally fair to ask, what does the science say about all this? Is this just a nice story, or is there some hard evidence behind the power of being present?
Exactly, it's the right question to ask. Is all this stuff,
Ichigo Zamay, or what neuroscientists call mindfulness and focused attention, is it just a bunch of motivational fluff? Well, spoiler alert, no. Let's look at the actual data.
The science here is just crystal clear. A major study out of Harvard found that this kind of practice literally increases the density of gray matter in your prefrontal cortex. That's like the CEO of your brain, the part in charge of planning, decision-making, and impulse control. You are physically building a better, stronger brain.
And this is just fascinating. A Stanford study looked at what's called the default mode network. That's basically the part of your brain that's buzzing when your mind is wandering and you're not focused on anything. What they found is that practicing focused attention can shut that network down by up to 40%. You're literally training your brain to turn off its own internal distraction machine.
So what happened to Jake? That A on his math test? That was just the first domino to fall. The real impact of this practice wasn't just on his grades. It was on the entire path of his life.
He didn't just get into MIT, he crushed it. He graduated with honors, started his career as a junior programmer, and by the time he was 28, he was already a team leader. This timeline, this isn't about some disorganized genius having a lucky break. It's about the quiet, unstoppable power of consistency, fueled by focused, single-tasking attention.
And whenever his coworkers would ask him what his secret was, this was Jake's answer. It's not some magic talent you're born with. It's a skill you build. It's about learning to tune out the noise and show up fully for the task right in front of you. It's about presence over raw genius, any day of the week. And honestly, this might be the biggest takeaway of the whole thing. Yeah, you get more productive, you get better grades, you get promotions, but that's just a side effect. The real prize is a richer life. When you're truly present, food tastes better, conversations go deeper, the world just becomes more vibrant. You stop living your life on autopilot and you start actually experiencing it.
So I'm gonna leave you with this one question. Forget about yesterday, forget about what's next. What is the one single task, the one single moment that you are in right now? Because your entire life, it's really just a string of these right now moments. And if you're not really present for them, are you truly living at all?